So aren't you lost at this point in time? So you don't know. So on one side, you have a career pressure. On the other side, you are trying to find yourself a mate or somebody like that. And it starts very early, by the way.
Welcome to the Change My Way of Life podcast. Shri Krsna Guruji.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Yes. And it seems that women's issues begin with puberty. What is that important knowledge that should be transferred to this young person?
See, in my world of spirituality, I do talk about how to understand the world around us. And if you move in spiritual, we talk about dispassion, we talk about detachment and discrimination and those kind of words. But here is a young person who is very passionate, who wants to do something but doesn't know what to do. They have dreams, they want to achieve something. And when somebody who wants to achieve something can set their mind on that target, on that particular goal in their life, we have to encourage them. Think about it like this. A young girl may think of maybe becoming a fashion model. I'm just saying, okay? Now, should we encourage her or no? Of course, we have to. But what is it that I need to give her when she wants to become a fashion model? See, think like that. Here is a young person who may change her mind instantly. You don't even know that. But if I were to give her the right inputs at the right moment in time, so this young person will be ready to face the future. And there is a lot of things that goes on behind the screens in these kind of industries. So can we expose them to that? Yes, a certain amount of knowledge transfer can be done. See, I am from the fashion world in my past life. So naturally, I have certain amount of knowledge which can be passed on. In a similar fashion, you will find that there are lots of other people in this world who can definitely be their friend and pass on a lot of information and knowledge which can help them. This is a very simple way of tackling the issue. See, they are already adept with their subjects in school. We should not touch those subjects because the teachers are there, the mother, the father are there. They have their tutors also. Those subjects are taken care of. But the rest of the world that is there, which is opened up for them, that they don't understand. They really don't have any knowledge. And when they are asking you questions, it is important to give them attention. They are seeking attention. Please remember this. They are actually seeking attention. They want somebody to understand that they are really worthy enough to be listened to. So we first got to listen to them fully. We got to give them the credit that they are expanding in their knowledge and then try to help them because they are seeking. Last night, I got a mail from a very young girl and she was thanking me literally left, right, and center because I guided her how to go about doing her career. She is a very young woman who has gone for further studies. And you can imagine, I normally don't take calls in the middle of the night. But here was a young person who was so enthusiastically telling me how she has gone through her journey. And now she has entered a very beautiful college. Now, here is a less than 20-year-old young girl and she needs a lot of this kind of a support. So it was very nice to hear from her. So I continued my conversation for some time and then I switched off. But they need someone like that, somebody who will listen to them, somebody who will give them some idea, motivation, those kind of things. So it is all about passion. It is all about they want to know more about the things around them. And today's young women are very career oriented also. The type of careers they are looking for, it starts at the age of 16 itself because of the AI and various other things that are changing in this world. So we need to be adept at it. If I have to be a part of their guidance process, then I should know what exactly I am telling them. So my knowledge should be up to the mark and it could be anything. So I have to give them a lot of help during this time.
Yes, Guruji. In spiritual, you teach to follow your Swadharma, to pursue that. Is it possible to help a young person identify what that might be?
I was recently seeing a video where a very young woman, I mean, she must be in her early 20s or so. And she was talking about the life changes, a subject which nobody talks about at that time. She was talking about changes in life, and she said, I was born to do this. So, Swadharma basically translates into, why are you here on this planet Earth? What is the reason for your existence? And are you serving that purpose? So there is a purpose in life, and can you serve that purpose? That is the idea. Now, what Swadharma is, it all starts from their background. So they may come from a particular group, a kind of a community, or some kind of a professional group that they are into. Maybe her parents are doctors or something like that. So we have to start from there, and we have to understand what is it that is going to interest her. See, the interest development happens during this stage, anywhere between 13 to 20. That is the age group where they start creating these newer interests in life. So if we were able to give them the right kind of inputs during this time, definitely they can move on the lines of their Swadharma. And Swadharma is something that you are here for. During my childhood, I had learnt of a story of a young woman who went and served the soldiers in the World War. I'm sure you remember her name, Florence Nightingale. It was a very beautiful story, and I was always amazed at the way the young girl was able to handle that situation. Today's day and age also, by the time you're 16 and 17, as a young woman, you're a thoroughly confused person, but you feel that you know all the answers. And that is the reason why we have to be very gentle and kind with them. Show them as a friend, show them how they can tackle the issue properly, and give them the right kind of guidance. Because we are talking at a very, very young age to these people. They are going to build their life based on that. At that point in time, they are also having those dewy eye, kind of a things, which if you see all, youngsters who look at all these young, especially in the 16, 17 age group, you will find that the Hollywood and Bollywood will always release some romantic movies. It's like the Christmas season. You see, when the Christmas season is on, 1 month before Christmas, there are hundreds of movies that will come out based on Christmas as a theme. These companies are interested in marketing. And here also, it is the same thing. They are marketing love, romance, and those kind of things. During our times, I still remember Mills and Boons and Georgette Hare and all those. They were there. Today's day and age, it's different. It is all about the visual medium. You see it and you want to be that person. So they have a mind which is very moldable. So we have to give them the right guidance and not get them lost in all these kind of things that are being pushed down their throat, which is not proper. So yeah, that way we can work with them and arrive at some right understanding.
Yes, Guruji. What do you suggest for a young woman? There's a lot of pressure. There's societal pressure. There's the pressure from one's family. There's a pressure from one's peers. How do you guide them to survive all that pressure?
See, the young person is tremendously under pressure. That is absolutely right. Now, imagine you have a grandmother at home, you have a mother, you have some, family members, and then you have your siblings and everybody around you. Everybody is trying to advise them something or the other. And in India, the idea is you can study up to a certain level and then you have to be ready for marriage. See, this is how they are taught. Getting ready for marriage. Sometimes they are getting ready for some career. Career will only come when you have certain difficulties in your life. That means maybe the earning members are lesser in the family, or you have a very great idea about reaching somewhere. As a young person, you may have a fantastic idea that I want to be a billionaire, or I want to be this or whatever, with the type of YouTube videos that are pouring out. So depending on these situations, the family, the friends, everybody around is putting a tremendous amount of pressure on this young person. Though they have a mind which is telling them to be a rebel, to go on their own path, search for answers. But where can they search for answers? This is the biggest question mark in everybody's life. It is like you are training a young foal, to go and run a race. So what are you telling that? Okay, this is what you got to do. I'm going to put reins on you and you have to go and win the race. This is what we are doing. Well, that is the first thing that is going to cause them the first break in their life. Because if you are going to tell them that you have to run the rat race of career or whatever, then that is going to be the detrimental point. That is the point where you are losing them. And they are going to become like any other women in this world who is into career and all those kind of things. There are lots of people who finally are not able to handle their life. And as you know, as you go further, divorces and breakups and those kind of things. And especially in the current day and age, when you are young women, you are exposed to all these Tinders of this world. And your idea about finding the right person has been inculcated in you by your own friends. So aren't you lost at this point in time? So you don't know. So on one side you have a career pressure. On the other side you are trying to find yourself a mate or somebody like that. And it starts very early, by the way. And in that, if you are interested in, say, the YouTube and the film media or whatever, then you are lost completely. Then nobody is there to guide you. Absolutely no one. Because I have seen in the world of films and all those, stage and all that, young women, they fall into the trap very fast because the world around them is very dangerous. Absolutely. And they have no clue about it. Similarly, in the world of career also, where they go and join some companies, they don't know anything about office politics, what happens over there. It's a kind of life that is there. They are not exposed to it. They are going to get a shock of their life the moment they land up over there. And with the kind of theories that that's going on in their brains, they will not be able to cope up with it because they get the first, like we say, jhatka, the kind of the jerking motion that happens in their life. It happens during that time. So what has to be done at that point in time is to give them a small exposure of how the world reacts with them, a young person. So give them that idea. So if there are some young filmmakers and all, they can definitely pass on this kind of a knowledge. They can create the videos and stuff like that on this subject, and they can help these youngsters, no doubt about it. So because visual medium by itself is very powerful. Everybody wants to see what is going on in TikTok or Instagram or YouTube and those kind of things. So that is there. The other thing is there should be some kind of a classes or something which can be conducted for these youngsters. They should be literally exposed to all the 8 facets like we are discussing in our Change My Way of Life. They should be given a small input on literally all these subjects, that is physical, mental, and so on. Even the idea about handling money is very important, because if you develop these habits at a younger age, then you will not have any issues in the future. Similarly, even spiritual for that matter, they are confused by watching these kind of crappy videos that keep on coming in with the type of things that they learn about spirituality. So they are completely getting lost in this world of more ritualism and more religion rather than spiritual. So giving them the right knowledge is important. So I think we need to create this kind of an atmosphere where they will get an exposure to all these facets, where they understand what they are going through, how they can tackle this world, what are the different things that they can do during this time, and be ready for the future. The idea should be that based on their own requirements. That means their Swadharma, like we discussed earlier. Exactly on those lines.
Yes, Guruji. Oh, Guruji, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
If you have enjoyed this presentation and would like to be informed of new presentations, remember to like, share, and subscribe or follow. Thank you.